머리 때문에 안 되는 거야? 아니지? 야, 머리 좋아지?
Hello everyone, welcome to Cherry Clips. Today I will be sharing a movie named Slowvidio. Chuck has a condition with his eyes. He can capture all movements in slow motion. This brings him great convenience. For example, the sudden breath of spring blows a girl's skirt up. Others can only get a peek, while Chuck takes his time to enjoy every frame of the scene. On the other hand, he also suffers from side effects. If he moves too fast, his brain will be a mess because it can't handle so many signals. Then he will fall to the ground. It will impair his vision if this happens a lot. The problem was first discovered when he was little. At a school relay race, he was running towards the finish line when he noticed Alice was waving to him. Alice was his first crush. He was so focused on her hands that the movement was slowing down, and everything he could see was slowing down. He deviated from the runway and fell down. His parents were startled. They took him to a well-known neurologist. Chuck was able to catch a high-speed baseball with ease. The doctor diagnosed him with a disease called dynamic vision. Because of the side effects, the doctor advised him to wear glasses to protect his vision. His classmates called him a monster. They made fun of him and bullied him constantly. Only Alice was kind enough and became friends with him.
동수미가 유일한 친구가 되어줬다.
Since Chuck had no problem capturing every movement, he drew pictures to record precious memories. They had so much fun together. Chuck's picture was all about Alice. Unfortunately, the other classmates began to isolate Alice as well, just because she hung out with the wired glass monster Chuck. Alice couldn't stand the torture. She transferred to another school and lost connection with Chuck. Chuck locked himself at home. The TV was his only connection with the outside. He especially loved the TV series. He even memorized and mimicked the lines, until one day, his father died. As the only child in the family, it was his turn to take care of his mother. He was introduced by his doctor to work in a police station monitoring center. Now, Chuck enjoys his work a lot. Compared to TV, this is more like a live broadcast. He has the chance to monitor or spy on others' lives. After a while, he is completely obsessed with his work. Chuck has been out of society for a long time, and he's lost the ability to socialize with others. But because of his ability, he helps to catch several bag snatchers. His coworkers consider him a hero. He doesn't make any friends at work, and only his supervisor cares about him. One day, a familiar figure appears on the monitor. It's Alice. After all these years, she changed a lot. But Chuck recognizes her at a glance. He finds her house and sees her from a distance. But Alice is too occupied to deal with the loan sharks. They are here because Alice's father can't pay back the money he borrowed. Even though Alice sold her house, it was still not enough. Chuck flees the scene before Alice recognizes him. He monitors her everyday life from the monitor and retraces her route to feel the same environment. He places a sofa on her way so she can have a rest. His supervisor encourages him to take a step forward. So when he notices Alice doesn't take an umbrella on a rainy day, he magically shows up. He recites the lines from TV and expresses his love. In Alice's eyes, a man is dressed indecently and says funny words. She takes it as harassment. A few days later, Chuck dresses up and holds a bouquet, waiting for Alice on the street. Alice gets a call regarding an interview. She's eager for the job. She ignores other people's opinions and sings loudly. Chuck is more attracted to her. Alice is too focused on the interview, and she doesn't notice a car coming towards her. It's just time. Chuck uses his superpower and rescues her. He confesses his affection again, but Alice doesn't take it seriously. Chuck explains that they were playmates. Alice denies it. There are way too many Alices in the world. She's not that Alice. Chuck is frustrated.
머리 때문에 안 되는 거야? 아니지? 야, 머리 좋아지?
In addition, his vision deforms rapidly. He's even more depressed. They run into each other by accident. Alice confesses that she has feelings for him. Naturally, they get into a relationship and start dating. Chuck is so concerned about her. He draws all the roads Alice takes, even the blind spot from the camera. Alice feels safe because she knows Chuck is behind her back. She makes funny faces and interacts with him through the camera. Chuck learns from Alice how to build relationships with others and make friends. The loan sharks harass Alice again. They embarrass her in front of Chuck. Chuck scares them away because they are afraid of his position in the police station. Alice is thankful to him. Alice desires to go to the seaside with someone special. Chuck gets her indication. He doesn't have rich friends, but he made friends with a bus driver recently. So Chuck asks his help to take Alice and him to the ocean. It's a fun journey until the bus is stopped by the police. They never realize buses are forbidden to go out of the city. They laugh at each other and cherish this experience. Police officers are tracing a rapist through the cameras when Alice disappears. Chuck is worried and runs around looking for her. Because of the side effects, he almost faints. It turns out Alice is just playing hide and seek with him. Until now, Alice has confirmed that Chuck loves her for real. They kiss each other for the first time. One night, the loan sharks invite themselves into Alice's house. They break her belongings and take away valuables. Chuck means to help her, but suddenly he loses his sight. He doesn't get to her house. Alice is cleaning up the mess. She picks up some pictures. Those were given by Chuck when she was little. Actually, she is his childhood playmate. She was not brave enough to admit it from the beginning. Alice decides to quit her job and hide from the loan sharks. She packs her stuff and waits in the dark for a taxi. Meanwhile, the car of the rapist appears in the neighborhood. He's looking for a new target. Chuck loses track of Alice in the camera. He rushes to her despite his condition. The rapist is dragging Alice into his car when he is interrupted by Chuck. He saves Alice again. Unfortunately, because he runs too fast, he loses his sight completely. He pretends to be fine and breaks up with Alice.
괜찮아? 곧 경찰 올 거야. 괜찮을 거야. 다행이다.
The police officers take her away before she knows the truth. Chuck quits his job and becomes a blind painting artist. A few years later, Alice returns. She finds out that Chuck is blind. She follows him to his studio. Chuck doesn't give up his life. He takes care of his family in another way. When Alice sees her own portrait hanging on the wall, she's touched. Chuck senses someone is following him. He knows Alice is back.
어떻게 알았어?
꽃이 피어서가 아니라 네가 와서 봄이야.
This time, nothing will be tearing them apart.